so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in out, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We got a brand new leader here. Joshua Pina takes it to the lead in front of Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, that 45 truck load's charging pretty hard with that outside lane. Perfectly formed up right now, and it looks like he'll be going for the lead down the backstretch.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Racing for a Cause. Here on a Wednesday night, we're going racing on short track action along with Racing for a Cause, the Super Late Model League. It's the Spring Series, race number 2, and we are coming at you live from Stafford. Joining me, as always, up here in the Hammond Motel, it is Rick Hammond. Rick, how are you doing tonight, bud?
I'm doing fabulous, brother. How you doing? Happy Wednesday.
Man, we are hump daying it away. Happy first day of spring to everybody here in North America. And it was a gorgeous one up here in Vermont. Can't wait to see more of that weather. Guys, we are getting ready to bring you 119 laps. That's 59.5 miles right here from Stafford Springs, United States. Phil Otto, I see you out there, my friend. And I'm not KR. Come on. Anyways. Hey, listen, Rick, we're going to have some wicked action. If it's anything like last week, these guys are going to bring it on, and it's going to be really, really good.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm excited about this. We got 119 laps tonight. That works out to be about 59.5 miles, Chris, and these guys are going to put on one heck of a show.
Yeah, I am getting ready. They're setting up for the first heat, starting here in about 5 seconds, Rick. Make sure, guys, you join us here on MaxSpeedTV. We will be bringing you action every single day. At least one race, sometimes 2 or 3. My goodness, we are busy. Live chicken in the passenger seat. The only guy that has that rule set against him is KR Stolfus and the number 77 Chemo. Getting ready for the first heat, Rick, and they are starting to pile in here. And look at that, Rick. We have a driver we thought wasn't going to show up here tonight, and he is starting up on the pole. It's Troy Radford in the 94 for this first heat. Dylan Blankenship going to be right on his outside. Brian Hacker starting in 3rd. Andy Lambert 4th. Fortin going to be starting in 5th. And K.D. Osmond starting in 6th place. KR Stolfus picking up shotgun in heat number 1 as we get these cars moving. And hopefully we have some exciting heat racing. We have lowered the amount of laps for the first heat down to 12 from 15. So these guys have less time to really dial it in and get going here. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be very, very fun.
It definitely is. I mean, I'm so glad that Andy brought the heat racing here because it adds that extra little hometown track feel, Chris. So I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, this is going to be good. Troy Radford up on the pole. Last night's winner in the Vapor Trail Truck Series here at Racing for a Cause. Said he wasn't going to be able to make it. He lied. He's in there in the 94 Kidney Machine on his outside. The 01 Dylan Blankenship getting ready to do battle on the outside front row. Brian Hacker, watch for him. He usually has some pretty darn good speed. Andy Lambert sitting very good in the points so far after the one race. Watch out for that MS machine. Andy, everybody here, Rick, is capable of winning this heat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's great to see that Troy was able to get out of work and get home on time to make it for the race tonight. So we'll see what happens. Right now, he's got a really strong restart, but there's the 01 right there, Dylan Blankenship. Getting kind of hung out to dry there a little bit on the outside. The 11 Brian Hacker is able to get around him. Here comes the 19 also.
Yeah, the 94, clean getaway for Troy Radford. Dylan Blankenship getting he's kind of falling back a little bit, down to 4th spot. He's got Andy Lambert to his outside. K.D. Osmond looking to make a name, can't quite get there in the 83. You got Brian Hacker sitting in 2nd spot with Fortin in the 19, sitting in 3rd. Dylan Blankenship, we talked about him just a second ago. He's fallen back to 4th spot here in this heat. And Andy Lambert 5th spot, but he's to the inside. He was looking for a way, couldn't find it. Down the backstretch, K.D. Osmond goes down to the inside. Can he make it stick? No, can't make the move yet. As the 70, with the momentum on the outside, able to continue on past the start-finish line into 1 and 2.
These guys doing a good job. They're pretty much right now nose to tail, Chris. I mean, that's kind of something that we expect right now. Troy Radford is the man to beat right there in the number 94 Kidney Foundation machine. Looks like that is a Ford, if I'm not mistaken. Looking really good out there. He's got Dylan Blankenship. Well, no, Dylan fell back like you said. What is going on? There we go. Brian Hacker right on his rear bumper there, looking on the inside, Chris. We're going to be able to see if he's able to make it stick, but no, Troy Radford still passed on the outside there. Doing a little battling it out right now.
Battling it out for the lead in the first heat race of the night. Hacker takes advantage in the 19 of Swanton. He ends up going past Radford as well. Radford loses 2 spots in the course of a lap. We were checking in on KR Stolfus. Heavy damage to the right front affecting the handling of the 77 machine. That don't matter. It's gonna be, this is just qualifying. Well, it's basically qualifying to get ready for the main feature here tonight. Short track racing at its finest. We're going to have heat racing followed by the A feature, guys. This is going to be good. If you haven't seen Racing for a Cause yet, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, check us out every Wednesday night. We're ready to go here on MaxSpeedTV. Lee, that is awesome, man. That is really cool. Phil Otto checking in, the Aussie. Phil, we got to get you back out on track, but I can't wait until life kind of lessens up on you and you're able to get back out on track with Racing for a Cause, because these guys are tearing it up out there. Katie Osmond still trying to figure out a way around Andy Lambert, peeks his nose to the inside, has room this time. Andy gets tight, moves up into 3 and 4. Katie on the inside and into 1 and 2. May be able to take advantage here. The 83 looking strong early on here. The 83 has Andy by a nose. Katie not able to do it quite yet. Backs the corner really good. And the 83 comes out in 5th. Katie Osmond looking strong in that sun drop. 83 car out front. It is Brian Hacker. I mentioned earlier on, watch out. That short run speed definitely evident in the 11 car, with Thornton right behind him. 1 lap to go for Brian Hacker to win the first heat. Skittles checking in. How you doing, Skittles? Brian Hacker looking to take over the first heat, and we will set up for heat number 2 just as soon as this one is done. Brian Hacker takes heat number 1. Thornton with 2nd spot. Troy Radford 3rd. Blankenship 4th. KD Osmond 5th. Andy Lambert bringing it home in 6th. And KR with a little damage to that right front, probably affecting the handling. He was in 7th spot. Bringing up heat number 2, Rick, and I expect this one to be just as good. It features last week's winner, Ryan Nolan.
Yeah, our hometown boy.
Soon as it fires up, we gotta wait. We got black screen here. And I don't know why. It should be going. Okay.
My library now.
We seem to have a little bit of an issue here. My computer not picking up heat number 2 so far.
I'll give a quick rundown, Chris. So in heat number 2, Matt Bade in the number 8 is going to be starting first. Last week's winner, 87, Ryan Nolan's going to be in 2nd. Then we have Douglas Wasaki in the 45 3rd, James McIntyre Jr. in the 81 4th. We got Zach Coldbeer Coyer in the 13, going to be 5th. Mike Holsclaw in the 22, going to be 6th. And then rounding out the field, Matthew Spinks in that number 35 machine, going to be starting 7th.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Lead to the inside goes Logan Clapton is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into 2nd place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath.
All right, guys, we had to figure it out, but we got her done. And we are joining everybody back here for what looks like it's going to be a pretty darn good second heat. We've got Ryan Nolan running in second spot. Matt Vade had a heck of a race last week in the 8 car, and he ended up 3rd spot last week overall in the final race, Rick. But Ryan Nolan chasing him down. Last week's winner in the 87, trying to make it sure that everybody knows he's out there. Doug Wasaki in the 45 out there running in 3rd. James McIntyre in the 81, 4th. James Cold Beer Coyer sitting in 13th, in the 13, running 5th. Mike Holtzclaw running 7th, and Matthew Spinks rounding out the field in the 35, although it looks like he just got around Holtzclaw. So Spinks moving forward, Matt Vade up ahead of Ryan Nolan. The battle really right now gonna be for that position as the 87 takes a peek down. Ryan Nolan looking for position early on in this one with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, our hometown boy. That's how he races, Chris. He kind of he'll follow somebody, he'll learn the line of what they're running, and then he'll start calculating on where he can make his passes. So expect to see that 87, though he's still in 2nd place, but he's definitely going to be looking to move to the front. Right now he's looking on the outside of that number 8 machine, not able to do much. Just kind of tucks back in, doing what he has to do right now.
Yeah, and watching now the 45, Doug Wasaki holding on to 3rd spot. He's got James McIntyre right behind him. McIntyre looking to the inside. Short track action, man. You cannot keep up with these guys as they are running around this track. Half-mile track here, Rick, so time clicks off quick. The finale here tonight, the A feature, is only 59.5 miles. Rick, there was a time I was commuting back and forth to work with more mileage than what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's one cool thing, though, about the short track stuff here. I mean, it is nice and quick, and everything just runs really smoothly. These guys do a fabulous job.
Checking in back up front, Matt Vade holding off Ryan Nolan. Doug Wasaki still sitting in 3rd. McIntyre and Zach Coyer, the 81, the 13. The 81 now starts peeking to the inside. He may have a run going into 3 and 4. The 45 holds him off. Doug Wasaki holding him off on the outside. How much longer can he do that? The 13 of Coyer goes to the outside. He may be trying a different way around. The 45 goes around. Doug Wasaki goes around. And this one's under caution. We'll go back to the MaxSpeedTV instant replay cameras and take a look and see what happened to the 45 as he had gone out to the outside of the 81 going inside McIntyre and the 13 of Coyer and the 45. They all kind of get together. Doug Wasaki losing a bunch of positions there, but we are under caution. Going to get back under the green flag here. Heat race number 2, and the action is starting to pick up. Matt Vade up front in the 8 car. Ryan Nolan in the 87. Matthew Spinks pulling it up to 3rd spot. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Zach Coyer running in 4th. Holtzclaw going to be running in the 22 car. And 5th spot, Doug Wasaki moves up to 6th. And James McIntyre, as that one actually ended. But the reason why that was happening, guys, the person who claims the caution gets an EOL, end of line. And that's exactly what happened. And that one ended out. So we are on to heat race number 3. And starting on the pole, AJ Hamill in the 18 car. To his outside, Steph Mernick. Justin Rigsby going to be starting on the 2nd row inside. Rex Hoyle to the outside, starting 4th. Al Smith Jr. starting in 5th spot. Mike Bassengill not making the start for this one. So a 5-car battle here, Rick, for 12 laps to kind of finish out the heat race. And you've got AJ Hamill up front, Steph Marinac on his outside, and Justin Rigsby, who's very impressive. Last week did a great job. Didn't get quite the finish he was looking for, but man, he was on it. Rex Hoyle, another guy last week, had an unbelievable race in that 50. He was turned a couple of times, ended up in 4th spot, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, I mean, they've been racing with each other for quite a while there, Chris, throughout the different seasons at Racing per Casa. So this is going to be a really good battle. I mean, it's going to be quick, short, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, these guys are getting ready to go here as the pace car lights are off. Getting a couple of things straight on the stream before the A feature. It looks like we are good to go there, Rick. And the 18 car, also good to go. AJ Hamill going to be bringing them to the green flag as we wait and wait. And there it is. AJ Hamill hits a loud button with Steph Marinak on the outside with a slight advantage off the get-go. And that's not going to work out for him because he had to go way high with the speed he was carrying. He still carries it to the backstretch. The 7 car, very racy out there tonight.
Yeah, definitely doing a good job trying to get around the Green Mountain Madman there. And the number 18, AJ Hamill. Ooh, taps the wall just a little bit. That's Steph Marinak. Oh, that's going to... No, not too much, though.
Not a lot of damage
18
there.
No, Jason Rigsby kind of in the spot where he wants to be. He's trying to get around that 7. But, man, that 7 is strong tonight right now in heat number 3.
Yeah, Steph Marinak not making the first start last week, but he is here to try and make up for lost ground. The 7 car looking good so far at Stafford. And who else looking good? AJ Hamill. In the 18 car, AJ, he's a very consistent driver. Gets a little tap from the 7. The 7 looks to the inside, not able to take advantage. There's going to be a bump and run, not able to get there. He goes to the outside. That may be giving Rigsby a chance to the inside. Justin Rigsby does have a fender, not able to hold on to. He gets loose and wiggles that 99 car. Rigsby gathers it back up, and the 7 starts to pull away. The 7 trying to catch Hamill.
Hamill's definitely out there trying to reclaim himself. If folks haven't watched last week's race, please go back onto MaxSpeedTV and check it out. It was a great race by Hamill. Ran out of fuel there right towards the end, Chris, so he wasn't able. I mean, he was dominant during that race, and unfortunately that kind of messed it up for him. So he's definitely out there trying to reclaim himself tonight and do what he has to do to show these guys, hey, listen, I'm back. And I know that Andy, the league admin over at Racing for a Cause and co-owner, he went through and they messed with the fuel a little bit, so that shouldn't be a problem this week, but that is something always to look out for. I mean, everybody has different driving styles, Chris, and some people are on that gas more than others and they don't save too much, so it could happen again, but I highly doubt it. I think they have a full fuel load this week.
Yeah, it should not be a problem. AJ Hamill able to go the whole distance, less 1 lap last week in a real heartbreaker as he was running second to Ryan Nolan with a chance to try and pass. Not able to get there as he ran out of fuel. Tonight shouldn't be a problem. Hamill up front here in heat race number 3. Smooth driving out there, says the Merc, and you are correct. You got to be smooth on that throttle. The eggshell definitely comes into play here on short track racing. You can't be up on the throttle 100% all the time. You'll get loose. You'll go into the wall. Can't have that. So definitely got to be careful with that eggshell under the gas pedal. And AJ Hamill, man, is he running it good tonight. 18.668 was his best lap so far. And I'll tell you, his last lap, an 18.683, so less than 0.2 of a second difference from the get-go of this one to now with 2 laps to go. Not a bad fall off at all. I'll take that any day. So you got Hamill, Marinak, Justin Rigsby sitting in 3rd, Rex Hoyle 4th, and Rex, he usually turns it on, not here, but during the A feature. And Al Smith Jr., last week, Al's paint job not showing up this week. No problem at all. AJ Hamill takes a white flag for heat number 3, looking to win this one with Steph Marinak and Justin Rigsby sitting 2 and 3. AJ Hamill comes off turn number 4, crosses the start-finish line as winner of heat 3, and that's got to feel good getting ready to go into the race. AJ Hamill is definitely primed in the 18. So now, Rick, we take a 5-minute break. We do warm-up. And then we get ready to go into a live racing action, guys. We're not going to step away. We're going to bring on some music. We're going to watch the track as these guys go around it. And you'll see everybody come out. And we're going to be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the A feature, getting ready to go here. Racing for a Cause, Wednesday night action. We have the grid set, ready to go. 119 laps, 59.5 miles tonight from Stafford. On the pole, driver of the car, number 50, it's Rex Hoyle. To his outside, Zach Coyer driving the number 13. Starting third, Dylan Blankenship. Fourth, Justin Rigsby in the 99. Matthew Spink starting fifth tonight. Troy Radford starting in sixth in the 94. Steph Marinik starting in seventh in the 7. Ryan Nolan, last week's winner, starting eighth in the 87. Fortin starting in 9th place in the 19. AJ Hamill starting in 10th. Matt Vade starting 11th. Hacker starting 12th in the number 11 car. KD Dale Osmond going to be starting the 83 car in 13th spot. And in 14th, Mike Hotzclaw. 15th, you got Al Smith Jr. And on his outside, in position number 16, the 70 car, Andy Lambert. On the inside, next row, driving car number 45, it's Doug Wasaki, and he's got Mike Massengill right behind him. KR Stolfus starting in 19th in the 77, with James McIntyre Jr. going to be starting in 20th position. One thing to edit there, it looks like Massengill not going to be making the start tonight, as he's not out on track. Rex Hoyle is. He gets ready to start this one off. Waiting for the green flag, Rick. There it is. The 50 hits the loud button.
Rex Hoyle having a great race in the right spot, the right time tonight here, Chris, in Stafford. The 50 strong gets right out in front of the 13. 13, that's Zach Coldbeer Coyer. These guys just trying to figure out, obviously, the inside lane's kind of where everybody wants to be right now, Chris. So the wall comes up really quick as we see... Who is it? Is that Jason Rigsby? And the 99 getting into the wall there, bouncing off quite a few times. Got the 94, Troy Radford on the inside. Brian Nolan's falling down, just sitting there doing what he has to do. He's going to get up right behind Troy, try to get around that number 99.
The 99 up into the wall again. That gives way for Ryan Nolan to get to the inside. Ryan Nolan looking good in the 87, advances on the little miscue from the 99 of Justin Rigsby touching the wall. So it's going to be Radford, Nolan, and Rigsby, 6th, 7th, 8th. In 9th spot, Matt Vade. Matt in the 8 car doing a fantastic job. He is in 9th spot after starting in 11th. Brian Hacker and AJ Hamill getting it on. Side-by-side action down the backstretch. Hamill to the inside in the 18. Hacker may have to give this one up. Decides to fight a little bit. No, AJ to the inside. Has the advantage. AJ Hamill looking strong in the 18 car, and Hacker's going to lose position. Needs to get down to the inside so he doesn't lose more. He does, and he may be trying to get back to the inside. Can't do it. So AJ Hamill holds position in 12th position. Starting 14th tonight, the 22, Mike Holtzclaw. And Holtzclaw trying to battle himself forward. Thornton, who started in 9th, has fallen back to 13th already in the 19 car. And look right behind him, he's got Al Smith and Katie Osmond. Osmond in the 13 to the inside. Osmond looking for more position here on track. Osmond started in 13th. He fell back a little way, trying to make it back up, Rick. And he is working Al Smith Jr. to the outside.
It definitely is KD. I mean, really good driver. He's just doing what he has to do. He's in the right place, though. That's where you want to be, right on the inside. But right now, having a hard time getting around that number 96 of Al Smith Jr.
Behind him, you've got Doug Wasaki, driver of the number 45, doing a fantastic job out there, Doug, with KR Stolfus, the legend, out there in the 77, doing everything he can to try and make it up to the front. Not a lot of practice out there in the 77 tonight. Keep an eye on him, though, as he starts getting used to the track. You'll find he picks a different line than everybody else. James McIntyre in the 81. He is running in 18th position, started 20th, so he's moved up a couple. And then Andy Lambert. He is last on the field after starting 16th. He has fallen back 4 spots. He's running, 3 spots, running in 19th. Back up front, Rex Hoyle really starting to put a gap over Coyer right now. 0.7 of a second with Dylan Blankenship right behind Coyer. And Matthew Spinks in the 35. He is running in 4th spot after starting 5th. So he has moved up 1 position. Steph Bernick, he is running in 7th, or excuse me, in 5th after starting in 7th. Watch out for the 94. He is on a high as he won last night's truck race here at Racing for a Cause. Troy Radford trying to make his way forward. He started 6th. He's currently in 6th, Rick, with Ryan Nolan right behind him.
And as you talked, Rex Hoyle got a little bit of a gap there, about 0.783 right now from Zach Coldbeer Coyer. Rex Hoyle, great driver, Chris. Like I said, he, what was it, 3rd last week? Or was it 2nd?
I believe he took a 3rd or 4th last week. He was definitely, no, it was 2nd or 3rd because he was definitely in the conversation. And that was after 2 different times when he was facing the wrong way on the track. So Rex Hoyle was able to recover, and he was there at the end with Coyer. Coyer said last week he may have had 1 too many cold brews as he didn't have the finish he was looking for. Zach Coyer looking strong here tonight, running in 2nd spot. Dylan Blankenship running in 3rd. Matthew Spinks moved up 1. He is running in 4th. Steph Marinik in the 7 car. He's right behind him, running in 5th spot. Rick, that's the top 5 right now, and these guys are really putting it down as we're on lap 15 already.
Yeah, I mean, lap 15 and 119 came quick. KR, if you're listening out there, but listen, your bet against yourself wasn't right. You said that he had 4 laps before he crashed at the end of the race, so doing a good job there. And then number 77, all these drivers doing a good job. They just got to find where they want to be, Chris. I mean, everybody wants that inside lane. Unfortunately, there's not enough real estate down there. As you see the 99 out there, that's Jason Rigsby trying to get by the 11 of Hacker right now. Hacker able to hang on for 10th position. Right up on the back bumper there, the 18. I'm sorry, Justin Rigsby. What did I say?
Jason.
Oh, I'm sorry. I better clean the smudges off my glasses.
Rex Hoyle having a good time. He has led all 16 laps so far here tonight, with Zach Coyer giving chase in 2nd spot. Dylan Blankenship running in 3rd with Matthew Spinks 4th. Steph Marinak up in the 5th. Troy Radford, Ryan Nolan starting to close in. Steph, you better go. You got to hit that bonnet on the right-hand side, put it to the floor, and get that 7 moving, and he is. The 35 starting to see a big mirror full of the number 7 as Steph really knows that Radford and Nolan are coming. Speaking of Radford, he started in 6th. He is running in 6th right now with Ryan Nolan right behind him. Nolan, he's up to 7th after starting in 8th, Rick. And we didn't get a chance before. We're going to take a quick look right now. Ryan Nolan did win last week's race. He's got 50 points. Check out everybody else in those point standings as it's going to change after tonight. One race, not enough to really pick a favorite for the season, but certainly Ryan Nolan with that first win puts himself under the gun. And we go back here to live racing. This little half-mile track providing a lot of action here so far, Rick. 21 laps done already, and it's like we just started.
Now, a couple interesting things that the guys here at Racing for a Cause do. So the leader is able to restart if there's a caution or anything like that. They can pick what lane they want to be in. They can either be on the inside, outside. A couple other things. If there's 5 cautions, then the cars will start in single file. They're only allowed 1 set of tires here tonight. You can come down, you can either get 2 or you can get 4. Your car is only allowed to go up on the jack stands once, and then that's it. If you happen to go in for a second time and your crew doesn't listen to you and they put tires on your car, you have to park it for the rest of the night. So some serious thing that these guys have to do. I mean, that's one thing that's got to be on the mind of Rex Hoyle, Chris, right now. As he has this lead, he's definitely burning his tires off to try to stay in front of Zach Coyer. And, he's only got 1 set, so you got to make these things count. I mean, these laps, they do tick away really quickly, especially on a half-mile track. So, look sometime between probably the end of the race. I'm pretty sure they have enough fuel to go the whole distance. So it's not really a fuel race. It's more if these guys want tires or not. And I'm sure they're going to hang on as long as they can, probably wait for that first caution to come out before anybody does anything anyway.
A lot of action going on around track. We're trying to catch it all. And honestly, there's just so much going on right now. It's hard to pick a battle. Kyle Smith Jr., haven't talked about him for a little while. He's in 13th position after starting in 15th. So he's moved up a couple spots. He's got Katie Osmond right behind him. Katie started in 13th. He's moved back 1, so he's running 14th in that sun drop, 83.
Boom, we had a car in the infield, Chris. Trying to find out who it was. It was a black car.
Yeah, that's Dylan Blankenship in the 01, Rick. He's got it back corrected. He's getting the right way on track. No caution as he continues on. Dylan Blankenship in the 01 going for a little ride. Speaking of going for a little ride, it's the 77 KR Stolfus. KR, a member here at Racing for a Cause. Check out that paint job, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking good. The Outlaw 77, I'm sure he's broadcasting over on Twitch. And that's not his normal home, folks. His normal home's right here on MaxSpeedTV. He's got Andy Lambert right behind him. And if I was Andy, I think I might give him the old chrome bumper just to say hi.
I'm sure that's probably crossing Andy's mind, Chris, as he's there. Just give him a little bump, rattle his cage just a little bit there. But Andy's a very clean, respectful driver, Chris, so I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, listen, this is short track racing. At any moment, the tempers could flare. That's something to watch out for.
That's it. I mean, it can happen anytime. Speaking of happening anytime, Matthew Spinks is up, he's up in 3rd spot with Steph Miranak right behind him. And Steph has looked a couple of times to the inside. Wasn't quite able to get there. Matthew Spinks running a good line in that 35 early on, running it in 3rd spot after starting in 5th spot tonight. Ryan Nolan and Troy Radford looking to keep the battle going as Nolan to the inside of Troy Radford. That's for position. Ryan Nolan in the top 5 now. Takes it away from Troy Radford. And Vade in the 8 going to the inside of Radford trying to follow Nolan. The battle is heating up here for 5th spot. 5th, 6th, and 7th really battling it out. Right behind them you got AJ Hamill. And he's got a mirror full of Brian Hacker in the 11. Hamill started in 10th spot. He has worked his way up to 8th, and that is not an easy feat here on the short track. This half mile, you definitely have about one place to pass, and that is in the corners. The way to do it, you got to wait for that guy ahead of you to get a little tight, move up, and you get underneath.
That's exactly what's happening to Troy Radford right now, Chris. He has balls back behind the 8 machine right now. Finally able to get in line there, but Matt Bade was just hanging him out there to dry on that outside lane.
Yeah, Hamill still trying to work over the 94. The 94 won't have anything to do with it. Has a good run on the backstretch heading into 3 and 4. Hacker to the outside, maybe trying to find a different way to get around. Hamill can't do it. But outside, very, very tough to pass here on this short track. Really difficult, and Hacker, I think, may have just figured that out. That's not going to be the way to get around AJ Hamill. Want to go ahead and thank everybody who's out there watching Racing for a Cause, the super late models, getting it on here on a Wednesday night. Thank you very much for coming out and watching these guys really hone in their skills. And these guys, they are, how do I say this without, you know what? So no surprise, Rick and I actually helped form Racing for a Cause, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say they are some of the best short track racing drivers here on iRacing, and it's our pleasure at MaxSpeedTV to bring you all of the action every Wednesday night.
Now, I'm very happy that they actually brought the super late models in this season, Chris. I mean, as you know, like you said, we started Racing for a Cause. We always started, it was a short track league, always to begin with. We started with the late models. We dabbled in a couple of the different things. We opened up series on different nights, but we always stayed true to our roots and the short track racing. But let me tell you, these super late models are so fun. And I think they're actually providing, especially with this last build from iRacing, they're providing some of the best racing right now on the service. I mean, nothing against the late models, but you know, we've always talked about bringing these super late models, and here they are finally.
And they are looking good, sounding better, and they are moving around this track. 19-second laps, guys. Half mile in 19 seconds. That's moving. Rex Hoyle up front. He started there, he's still there, but it looks like Zach Coldbeer-Coyer starting to maybe make a move as he is starting to close that gap up. The 13 may want a piece of the lead here as he has been watching the back bumper of Rex Hoyle for a very long time. Rex has led 40 laps here of the 40, so, well, he's led every lap, Rick. there's nothing more to say. Rex Hoyle on top of it, but Coyer closing in. The shark music definitely playing. Matthew Spink sitting in 3rd spot. He started in 5th, and Steph Marinak running in 4th. There's a gap back to 5th spot. Ryan Nolan in the 87, but it's not that big.
It's not that big. I mean, Nolan has definitely been moving up, Chris. He started here tonight 8th. He fell back a little bit, but he's sitting there in 5th, like you said, right now. He's got a little bit of time in between him. The car in front is about almost 1.43 seconds. So, a little bit of a gap, but don't count Nolan out. I mean, we've seen him race so many times, Chris. This is what he does. I mean, you know that he's probably sitting there trying to save as much tire as he possibly can, but he will definitely be working his way up there. But right now, Rex Hoyle doing what he has to do, Chris, having an outstanding start to tonight's race. So far, 44 laps of 119 are completed. We're coming around to do lap number 45. And Rex Hoyle, the man to beat. Coyer was getting up there, but seems to be falling back just a little bit.
Yeah, may have just worked his tires a little hard. And Zach Coyer maybe letting him cool off. There's a battle for 3rd spot right now as the 7, Steph Marinak, works Spinks to the inside. Spinks, nothing he can do on the outside. He's got to let the 7 of Marinak go. And Spinks loses 1 position to the 7 car of Steph Marinak.
Marinak did a really good job too there, Chris. He finally said, okay, enough's enough, and he dove right down into the inside and was able to make that beautiful pass on the 35, working his way on up.
Checking in on the battle for the lead, Zach Coyer. He's getting close, but not close enough. Rex Hoyle, so consistent, lap after lap, and that is something over the last few weeks that I have learned about Rex Hoyle. He is consistent, he is clean, and he is one to beat right now. You see the rotors in the front glowing red. Lots of front brake here in these super late models, and Rex Hoyle holding on to that 50 very well. Actually starting to open that lead back up to Zach Coyer, who's sitting in 2nd. Go back to 12th position and take a look at Al Smith Jr. Al is sitting in the 96 car. He's got Justin Rigsby just in front of him. Katie Osmond right behind. Al Smith Jr. started in 15th. He's worked his way up to 12th, and he's kind of holding steady there in that Make-A-Wish number 96.
Yeah, the field's just a little bit spread out there, Chris. I mean, I'm sure a couple of these guys are probably asking for a caution, probably getting a little dizzy. They're sitting in their sim rigs. But right now, everyone's doing a good job. These guys have a lot of fun out here, Chris. There's a lot of respect out there on the track, and it's fabulous to see.
Out back with KR Stolfus. He's currently in 19th position, right where he started. You saw him working his way towards the front, and KR not happy with this as the tires start to wear, as he is falling behind just a little bit here. KR needs to pick it up, and he is one of those drivers right now that would love to see a caution come out just to gather the field back up. Up front, though, Rex Hoyle, he's going to be looking at the back bumper here pretty soon of KR. KR really needs to find a way to get a little bit more speed out of the 77, as Hoyle has no problem with it at all. His best lap at 18.609, last lap at 19.393. Rex Hoyle definitely on the move. The 7 car, speaking of on the move, started to take a peek on the inside. Coyer maybe under attack. Steph Marinak in the 7 car definitely looking and not able to get there, but man, that was pretty aggressive driving there. He was looking hard on the inside, couldn't do it. Fell back in and still just peeking. He is finding a different line than what Coyer's running, and that's what you have to do here on short track. You can't just run the same line as the guy in front of you. You got to pick a different braking spot, a different throttle spot, a different line altogether to find a way around the guy ahead of you, and that is exactly what Steph Marinak in the number 7 is trying to do.
Yeah, Steph started this race here in 7th, Chris, sitting in 3rd place right now, and like you said, putting a lot of pressure on the number 13 of Zach Coyer. I expect within the next couple of laps he's going to be diving down on the inside.
Yeah, the 7 car definitely braking harder than the 13. That means he's carrying more speed in the corner. The 7, look for him to try and make a move here in the next lap or two, as he is just trying to find an opening. Coyer is definitely under the attack by Marinak, and here it goes on the inside, down the backstretch into 3 and 4. The 7 has the advantage, and he is running that corner really nice. The 7 just barely not passing the 13 at the start-finish line. Has the advantage coming out of turn number 2 down the spread. Oh boy, gets a little bit of loose. Loses time to the 13. That allows Coyer to battle it hard on the outside. And the 7 gathers it back up, and he is looking at the start-finish line and take over second spot, Rick.
Yeah, what an outstanding move now. Zach Coyer's got to be careful because the 35, Matthew Spinks right there, he's going to be trying to do the same thing, I bet. I mean, he saw that how Marinac was able to do it, Chris, so he's probably thinking, hey, I might be able to do that too. But what an outstanding move by the 7.
Yeah, great move by the 7, and you're right. Spinks is right there. He is looking to try and gobble up Zach Coyer in the 13. Spinks, a little bit of damage to the right front fender. Maybe affecting how that car handles just a little bit. Not due to draft or anything, but he may have punched that tire just a little bit. Steering may be out a little bit. We'll see. The 35 next up, trying to get up to 3rd spot, running in 4th right now. And Ryan Nolan going, boy, I would love to catch these guys. And he is slowly reeling them in, Rick.
He is. I've been watching his lap times, Chris. Little by little, he is reeling in 4th place right there of Matthew Spinks. Give it a little bit of time, and we'll be seeing Nolan battling it out with these guys here.
Right behind Nolan, you've got Matt Vade. He's the driver of the number 8 car. He started in 11th spot, Rick. He is currently running in 6th with Troy Radford in the 94. He's behind Vade. Radford in the 94 Kidney Foundation car. Started in 6th spot tonight, currently running in 7th with A.J. Hamill right behind him. Hamill, he came in, started 10th in tonight's feature. He's running in 8th spot. I don't know if he's taking it easy, thinking he's going to run out of fuel. We were kind of joking before the race, and I hope he didn't take it to heart. I don't think he did. Brian Hacker
I don't think so.
Yeah, Brian Hacker certainly running in 9th spot. He started 12th tonight. We saw him have a good heat race. Hacker looking to try and finish well here tonight with Guillaume Fontaine in the number 19. He is running in 10th after starting 9th, so Guillaume hasn't moved too much in the 19, but running clean. The car looking good. Justin Rigsby, we've seen him out there. He kind of tapped the wall a couple of times, and he started 4th spot, but he's currently in 11th with Al Smith right behind him. And Al is looking for that position, currently 12th. Would love to pick up 11th from Justin Rigsby. With that battle going on, KD is able to watch it from the 83. KD started 13th, moved up a little bit, fell back a little bit. He's currently running 13th, Rick, and he's got Al Smith right out the front window with Mike Holtzclaw right behind him. Running 14th, started 14th. Holtzclaw net gain 0. Doug Wasaki, my friend, he started in 17th position. He is currently in 15th, getting passed right now by Andy Lambert in the 70. 70 to the inside, and he brings the 81. Doug Wasaki maybe set up to lose a couple positions here as the 81 gets to the inside. The 01, Dylan Blankenship, makes contact with the 45. The 01 looking to get around. Blankenship in the 18th spot, now up to 17th as they cross the line. And Dylan Blankenship makes the pass on Wasaki. K.R. Stolfus coming down pit road decides, I would like 4 new tires, please. And he is going to lose a ton of time as he is pitting under the green flag. Lap 68 of 119. And Rex Hoyle up front with Steph Marinac starting to put a little pressure on the 50.
Yeah, KR just came down, like you said, just finally said, okay, enough's enough. I got to come in. I got to get some new rubber under this car, maybe make a couple adjustments, do what they have to do. But right now, yeah, the 50, man, a little bit of pressure there from the 7. He hasn't had that much in the last 68 laps, Chris, so this is something new. It's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. The 7 definitely looking on the inside. That's how we saw him move up so quick. So that's what he's going to do. He's just going to follow Hoyle around, and then they're going to find out. And here it is. He's on the inside right now, Chris. This is right where Steph Marinac wants to be. Now he's behind him again, so he's definitely peaking. And he's just waiting for that one run.
Yeah, Marinac checking out the inside, but Rex Hoyle was able to close the door in the 50. Knows now that he can't go up that high anymore. The 7 will peek in there, and he does it once again, but the 7 not able to take advantage once again. And the 50 of Rex Hoyle definitely under the gun here. Steph Marinac coming out of nowhere, wasn't able to race last week with these guys, comes back in here running second and looking good in that 7 car. Zach Coyer still holds on to position number 3. The battle for 4 is starting to heat up. Ryan Nolan on the inside of Matthew Spinks. Ryan Nolan in the 87 looking to try and pass Spinks. Not able to do it here, but maybe in the next corner, the 87 has to back it down just a little bit. Still has some sort of position. Coming down the backstretch, not able to get there. Dives down again. 3 and 4, maybe the corner. No, the 87 denied once again. Matthew Spinks turning it on, trying to hold on to position 4.
Spinks kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place, Chris, because you got the 13, Zach Coyer right there, so his moves are kind of limited. But he's definitely doing a good job holding off the 87 and Ryan Nolan right now.
Well, Nolan's got his own problems as he's got the 8, and the 8 is battling hard. That's Matt Vade. Vade was trying to get to the inside of the 87, almost had him, not quite there. And Vade backs it down just a little bit to give the 87 a chance to race. But Vade also very fast here at lap 75 of 119. Check in again with the race leader under pressure from Steph Marinak in the 7. Steph looks like he is maybe starting to change his line just a little bit, going up a little higher, starting to diamond those corners a little bit, Rick. And that could give him the momentum after a couple of laps to watch for. And we've got Matthew Spinks, Matt sitting in 4th spot in the number 35. He's got the 87 and the 8 battling for position behind him. And they're going back and forth here. This is all for position number 3 and 4, 5 and 6, guys. This is some tight racing.
Kind of hard to see where we want to be looking, Chris. I mean, definitely got to keep an eye on the leaders because the 7, Steph Marinak, really putting the pressure. Goes up a little high this time, but Rex Hoyle says, no, I can play this game, but that leaves the inside open. The 7 kind of peeks in, not able to get the run that he's looking for, going back out on the outside just a little bit. These guys definitely pouring it on, having fun up here.
Yeah, Marinak is doing what we call a diamond. So he gets in, goes a little high, comes out of the corner on the low side, and Rex has got to be able to defend that in the 50. So far, he's been able to do so. Zach Coyer, he's holding on to 3rd, but he has got a funnel cloud behind him as a tornado getting ready to erupt. He's got Matthew Spinks, Ryan Nolan, Matt Vade, and just a little behind them, the 94 of Troy Radford, maybe bringing up AJ Hamill and Brian Hacker into the fray. Something to watch for as these guys all battling for position. 35 going to the inside. Coyer under attack from Spinks. The 35 looking for position on the same time. The 8 car, Vade to the inside of Ryan Nolan. Spinks and Vade working on the inside. Coyer and Nolan on the outside. Definite position right here. Looking for 3rd. Matt Spinks has it. Zach Coyer wants it back. And behind them, it's Ryan Nolan, Matt Vade battling for position number 5. Nolan goes way to the outside. And that's going to allow Troy Radford to start closing the gap. Ryan Nolan off the wall. Troy Radford looks to the inside. Can't quite get there that time by. And Ryan Nolan going backwards now to position 6. Zach Coyer hung up on the outside. He's got the 8 car. Matt Vade to the inside with Ryan Nolan also inside. Ryan Nolan looking to move forward. Zach Coyer maybe going backwards here, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a tough spot to be in, Chris.
Oh, the 7's going around with Rex Hoyle. Rex Hoyle in the 7 go around under caution. 84 laps in, we get our first caution on the track. We're going to go back to the MaxSpeedTV instant replay and find out what happened between position 1 and 2. And you see it right there. The 7 got right into race leader Rex Hoyle. And man, oh man, a lot of drivers out there happy to see this caution. Rex Hoyle, not so much, as he was leading this race, able to keep it going the right direction. And Steph Marinak and him got together. We're going to go back one more time, take a look. The 7 car getting into the corner, and he had the inside. Past the start-finish line into 1 and 2. Comes down onto the apron to try and make a pass. Comes up, got tight. The 7 got tight, got into the inside of the 50. And that brings out the first caution of the night. These guys are like, yes, please give me all the tires. I want them all. Everybody coming down pit road.
I think they're doing that, and they're also shaking their arms out, Chris. I mean, it's, you know, it's a lot of work when you're sitting here, especially on a short track. You don't have those long straightaways to kind of relax a little bit. I mean, these guys are up on the wheel all the way through, and it looks like pretty much everybody comes down pit road. I'm trying to look. Yeah, everybody came down pit road at least once. We know that KR Stolpus, he came in a little bit early, sitting 2 laps down right now. But everybody comes in for tires and fuel, maybe a little bit of repair work, and then they're right back out on the racing surface.
So KR down 2 laps because he came in early. He came in under green for tires. He will get 1 lap back here, and KR will be looking to see if we can get another quick caution to bring him back onto the lead lap in the 77. But right now it looks like Ryan Nolan may be the race leader with Brian Hacker right behind him. Rex Hoyle drops 2 positions back to 3rd with Vade in the 8 car in 4th. Zach Coyer relegated back to the 5th spot with AJ Hamill in 6th. Matthew Spinks running up in the top 3 or 4. He is back down to 7th after that pit stop. Al Smith Jr. looking to take up battle from 8th spot. Al Smith running in that 96 in the top 10. Gallium Fortin in the number 19, running in 9th position. Troy Radford rounding out the top 10. KR decides to come down pit road.
I'm looking at the 50 machine, Chris. He's got a little damage there on the rear left. Not anything that he has to really worry about. I mean, everything looks good on that number 50. So, you know, he might be sitting back in 3rd right now, but he's been showing that he's pretty dominant here. Now that everybody has fresh tires, it's kind of like the restart of the race. So, if he's able to get a good jump there, he can get right by Nolan possibly. But he's got to get by Hacker first.
Well, you said it already. Ryan Nolan going to be restarting this one on the pole as the pace car has come in. And the race starts with Nolan, and he hits the loud button, and he's gone. Ryan Nolan with an awesome restart with Brian Hacker sitting in 2nd spot. The battle right now for 3rd. Rex Hoyle wants it, and he has it. Rex Hoyle passes Vade and keeps the 3rd spot. Zach Coyer in the 13.
Oh.
We saw him battling.
Good cars going around the back, Chris.
Dylan Blankenship, Justin Rigsby, the 81, James McIntyre, all involved. We'll go back to the instant replay to find out what happened there. Cautions, breeding cautions.
That's the thing about short tracks. I mean, once you get that first caution, everybody gets a little relaxed. You know, maybe some people are a little upset. They kind of jump the gun. I mean, when you get that new rubber underneath these cars, Chris, I mean, these guys feel like Superman, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, we're watching the 99 right now. Oh, it happened well up in front of him. Al Smith Jr. looks like he was involved. So we're going to go back and see if we can't figure out what happened to Al Smith Jr. He was on the outside, Spinks to the inside. They straightened it out. Spinks not able to get on the brakes hard enough anyways. And Al Smith Jr. going for a ride in the 96. Cars ping-ponging all over the place. Heavy damage in the 96 car of Al Smith Jr. So we pick up caution number 2 with Ryan Nolan up front. Lap 92 of 119. Brian Hacker sitting in 2nd spot. You saw KR go around getting a lap back. Rex Hoyle sitting in 3rd spot. Matt Vade going to be 4th with Zach Coyer rounding out the top 5. AJ Hamill going to be 6th spot, Rick, with Matthew Spinks back in 7th. William Fortin, he is running in 8th spot with Mike Holtzclaw running in 9th in the 22 car after starting 14th here tonight. Troy Radford started in 6th spot, and he has been pushed back to 10th. Watch for that 94 to try and make his way to the front in this last green flag stint. Katie Osmond started 13th and he is doing fine. He has moved up to 11th. Andy Lambert started 16th position. He is up to 12th. Justin Rigsby has some damage from that last one. Rigsby is running in 13th. Doug Wasaki going to be running in 14th. And Steph Marinick, not too long ago, he was running 2nd to race leader Rex Hoyle. And now all the way back to, well, we have a couple of shifts here, but he is running 14th with James McIntyre right behind him. Dylan Blankenship, Matthew Spinks, Al Smith Jr., and man, oh man, K.R. Stolfus, 1 lap down, and you know, he's like, come on, one more caution. One more caution as the cars line up 2 by 2, Rick. Pace car lights are off, and the pace car is going to be making that hard left-hand turn here very soon.
Yeah, Ryan Nolan decides to choose the inside lane again, which I think is smart, Chris. I mean, obviously this is where you want to be at Stafford, so he knows what he's doing. But man, Brian Hacker right there. You got Matt Bade in the mix. You got Rex Hoyle, that cold beer Coyer, AJ Hamill. These guys are all ready. They all want to get up front.
Pace car's off, the 87, holding them up, and he goes. Very smart restart there. He let Hacker go just a little bit, held him off. As Hacker was backing up to get back to the leader, Ryan Nolan took off, and man, did he take off. Ryan Nolan up front with Hacker right behind him. Rex Hoyle running third with Matt Vade running in fourth. Zach Coyer running out the top 5 with William Fortin. He is running in 6th. Troy Radford already up to 7th after restarting in 10th. AJ Hamill running in 8th. Andy Lambert and Mike Holtzclaw rounding out the top 10. KD on the outside looking in. Would love to make one more pass at least to get into that top 10. We're on lap 98 of 119 with Ryan Nolan up front.
Ryan Nolan definitely taking the advantage of that awesome restart that he had, Chris. Putting a little bit of gap between him and Brian Hacker right now. It ain't much, because Hacker's definitely pouring it on, trying to get caught back up. As you see, he got really close to the bumper there as they're coming out of the turn. Falls back just a little bit, but then they go down that short straightaway. Rex Hoyle trying to get back there too. He's battling hard, Chris. I mean, I expect him to get back up. He's definitely going to be putting pressure on Hacker here shortly.
Yeah, Rex Hoyle not going to be happy with a third. Would love to get back up front. He led 83 laps of this one, Rick, and he would love to lead the last one, the one that counts. Rex Hoyle got a little bit of work to do as he's got Matt Vade right behind him trying to get underneath. Wasn't able to do it last time by. Hoyle gets on the brakes a little bit in that corner trying to hold line and continues to go on, but Matt Vade watching. Very patient driver is Matt Vade. The 13, Zach Coyer running in 5th spot. Most of the night spent in the top 3. Right now running in 5th spot with Fortin right behind him in the 19.
I want to give a quick shout out to everybody out there watching on MaxSpeedTV. We appreciate you hanging out here with Chris and I at the Hammond Hotel as we bring all the short track action of the Racing for a Cause Super Late models. If you haven't yet, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that little notification bell. You'll see whenever MaxSpeedTV goes live, which is pretty much every single night of the week.
Cool shot here, Rick. We're inside Ryan Nolan's car. Going to take a lap here around this half-mile track. As we dive into turns number 1 and 2, you see him keeping it down as low as he can, trying to hold speed back up towards the wall, and then he'll dive down into turns 3 and 4. Again, trying to hold that left side very close to that white line, if not over it. Back out to the start-finish line. That is 1 lap here around Stafford from the 87. It took us 19.11 seconds to do it. Ryan Nolan is making some moves. Brian Hacker also trying to make some moves as he is sitting in 2nd spot, and he is getting closer. Rex Hoyle right behind him. Hoyle is trying to battle off Vade and try and figure out a way around Hacker at the same time. Short track excitement. This is it right here, Rick. Guys, if you haven't seen short track racing and you like it, please let your friends know. Every Wednesday night, going live 9 o'clock, Racing for a Cause here on MaxSpeedTV. This is the place to be. Zach Coyer running in 5th spot. So much time spent in the top 3. He started in 2nd spot, and he is running in 5th right now with Fortin right behind him. Fortin in the 19, trying to figure out a way to crack the top 5. He's got Troy Radford in the 94 right behind him, and Radford wouldn't mind a taste of that top 5 after winning last night. in the truck series here at Racing for a Cause. AJ Hamill was taking a peek, wasn't able to get in there yet, but AJ also wouldn't mind cracking to that top 5. These guys are all within enough time to get there, Rick, with 12 laps, making now 11 to go.
Ryan Nolan going around, Chris.
Ryan Nolan.
Ooh, the 19 leader. On its roof.
Oh, we've got a big one. We'll go back. Ryan Nolan was battling with Brian Hacker. As caution came out, we're going to have to go back just a little bit further, Rick. We see Brian Hacker with a really good run here out of that corner. Gets down to the inside. And around goes Nolan. And a lot of cars. No place to go. The 19 up and around, as you said, Rick, on his roof. And Nolan able to keep it going. But the 19 of Fortin took a ride. And he may be done for the night. No fast repairs here tonight, Rick, or any other Wednesday night, as Racing for a Cause doesn't believe in him. And I can't say I blame. I think it makes the racing much, much better. Brian Hacker, your new race leader. It'll be interesting to see if he takes the EOL penalty for that one, or if he lets... These guys have a driver's council, Rick, and if there's no decision on track, what they do is they send the replay over to the driver's council. Driver's council will decide who was at fault. So if you don't take it, you can actually lose more than if you take it. It's something to watch for. KR Stolfus going around race leader. KR now back on the lead lap, joining everybody else out there. So KR back on the lead lap. And Brian Hacker in the 11. We're waiting to see the decision. This is going to be good. 8 laps to go. We're not done with the green flag racing yet, Rick, and we have yet to figure out if Hacker is going to take the EOL or if he is going to let the Drivers' Council do it. Oh boy, I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat. I don't know why I paid for a whole seat. I only use the edge of it here on Wednesday nights.
I know that these guys keep us right on the edge of our seats, Chris. Every lap is just a bunch of fun. It looks like we have a couple of cars definitely that have brought their cars behind the wall. We got Fortin on the 19. You saw him. Obviously, that car damaged sitting on its roof there. Dylan Blankenship in the 01. Steph Marinak out. And Mike Massengill didn't start the race, so he's also out. So actually 3 cars that started are out behind the pit wall right now. Let's bring Steph up real quick, Chris. Steph, you got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, bud? Steph, you got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
Unable to reach him. Steph is not talking. As Rick was trying to contact Steph on the headphones, it looks like Brian Hacker did take the EOL. New race leader Matt Vade, as the pace car lights go off. The 8 car up front with Rex Hoyle to the outside. Zach Coyer running in 3rd in the 13th. Look out for the next row, as you got the 94 on the outside of the 2nd row. Troy Radford, AJ Hamill, going to be starting on the inside 3rd row on his outside, the 70 car. That's Andy Lambert. Katie Osmond starting this one back in 7th. And oh my, here we go. Matt Vade with a really awesome restart. Heads in. Oh, we're going around. Big one happening.
What was kind of interesting too, Chris, I saw Ryan Nolan blink. I've been looking. He is still in the server. He hasn't been dropped yet, but definitely having some connection issues. That's unfortunate there tonight for the 87.
We're going to take this one back to the restart. And what a restart it was for Matt Vade in the 8 car. As he gets going, you see a 13 kind of, I don't know what happened there, Rick. He kind of turned right. We're going to have to take a look at that one again, because I'm unsure. Oh, the 50. Rex Hoyle gets into 13, and that starts a ping pong action. Rex Hoyle gets into the 13, and around he goes. Zach Coyer gonna need another cold beer after this one. With 3 laps to go, Matt Vade up front with AJ Hamill running in 2nd. Troy Radford 3rd, Andy Lambert 4th, And KD Osmond cracks the top 5 for the first time tonight with 3 laps to go.
Let me tell you, that sun drop car, Chris, I love that car. Ever since he started racing for cars, he's always had the sun drop paint somewhere, or the sun drop logo on his paint somewhere, man. And let me tell you, there's nothing better than an ice-cold sun drop on a summer day, let me tell you.
Unbelievable action at the closing of this one. Matt Vade up front in the 8 car. And Rick, this one may be done under caution with Vade up front. Pace car lights still on with 2 to go. It's going to go 1 to go here. It's not going to matter. Matt Vade is going to be your race winner. AJ Hamill going to pick up position number 2. And Troy Radford kind of sneaks into, and I'm going to use that word, he snuck into position number 3 tonight with 1 lap to go. Here we are. I will tell you, this is not the way they want to end their race under caution, but what a race. Man, oh man, Matt Vade up front, and he was battling pretty hard all night long, and he had a good race last week, wasn't able to capitalize on it, although he was in the top 3. We weren't able to talk to him, that's what it was. We will be having a chance to talk to him this week. I believe he is in TeamSpeak. And the race is done. Your race winner tonight, Matt Vade, with AJ Hamill, Troy Radford, rounding out the top 3. Congratulations to race winner, Matt Vade. Rick, that was awesome.
That was. I mean, like you said, Chris, these guys didn't want to finish under caution, but that's just how it worked out. Kind of unfortunate. These guys would have loved to battle it out there for the last couple of laps, but congratulations to Matt Vade, AJ Hamill, Troy Radford, Andy Lambert. He moved up also, Chris, sitting in 4th. KD Osmond coming to the top 5, so that is awesome for those guys tonight.
Yeah, we'll go over the unofficial results. You kind of already started it with the top 5. Vade, Hamill, Radford, Lambert, and Osmond. And then we got Holtzclaw, Smith, Spinks, Rigsby, and Hacker. Wysocki coming home 11th. McIntyre, Stolfus, Hoyle, and Coyer. And Nolan, Fortin, Blankenship, Marinak, and Massengill. Massengill did not start tonight's race, but my goodness, what a week 2 of this series. And man, Rick, it is bringing it on tonight, man.
Oh, they definitely are, man. It's going to be a good season. You know, this is race 2 of 10, so, you know, next week we're looking to have some fun.
Rick,
next week we're going to be hanging to Oxford. Yeah.
Oxford.
Or no, I'm sorry, Gateway.
Okay, Gateway. I was going to say, I think that was, yeah. Let's actually bring it up right now, the RFC schedule for the season. You see it right there on screen. And, man, it's going to be so, so good. Guys, normally we take a break before we get into the top 3, but tonight's so good. I want to get it going right now. So let's bring them up. And we're going to start off with Troy Radford, who ended up finishing 3rd spot tonight in the number 94. Troy, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I do, gentlemen. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, bud. You at first lied to us and told us you weren't going to make it.
That I did.
You ended up coming in here, starting a little bit towards the middle of the pack. And then you brought that 94 home in 3rd spot. It's been a pretty good week for you, Troy. Why don't you take us through the race?
Well, to start off with, I had a customer at work who decided at the last second that they weren't buying that car, so I was able to step into the rig with 2 minutes left to go, which started off pretty nice for me there. Main thing is I don't have enough experience in these cars to really feel super comfortable in them, so you know, getting out there, the heat race and the first half of the race was really just kind of getting comfortable and figuring out what this car needs. Hanging in there about 7th, 8th, somewhere in there, and that was probably about all I had. I mean, I think I was a little better than that on the long run, but you know, I'd rather be lucky than good sometimes, and tonight was definitely one of those nights.
Well, I'll tell you what, the 94 looked good out there, and I'll say this, Troy, it's good to be home. It's nice to be able to look at a car number, know exactly who's in that car number, and of course I'm very familiar with the 94, the Kidney Foundation. Who do you have in that car that you need to thank?
You know, main thing, of course, National Kidney Foundation, something that's near and dear to my heart, and I love to raise awareness for it in any way I can. Of course, Falcon Motorsports, who didn't have Tyler out here tonight, but Love having them on board. Evidence-based mommy. Just yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing up here.
All right, bud. Well, good to hear your voice out there again. Hopefully, we'll hear you tomorrow night on Across the Infield right here on MaxSpeedTV. That's driver of the number 94, bringing it home in third spot tonight, Troy Radford. Now we bring up finisher, the finisher who finished in second. Does that make sense, Rick? I don't know. Finisher in second spot. Last week he couldn't even put enough fuel in his car to finish the race. This week comes home second spot. AJ Hamill, driver of the 18. It's Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
He's got a copy, but hold on, Chris. So, as his favorite driver, the number 18 in NASCAR, we all know is the new king.
I'm just getting
the new king of NASCAR.
Flack here.
We miss you, buddy. But listen,
all kind of incorrect what's going on. Fake news all over.
Second is the first place loser. Remember that.
Not tonight. Not tonight. You want to know where this number came from? Go to the Coke machine under the scoreboard, and you see Mr. Labonte sitting on there.
We love you, brother. We love you.
Oh, AJ, of course we kid because we love, and we love seeing that you were able to make it from mid-pack all the way up to second, not without some adversity out there, but you kept the 18 clean. You ended up in second spot. Why don't you take me through it?
Yeah, I guess it's one of those, some weeks you don't get the finish you deserve, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. So I was really hard to pass, as you guys saw. Nobody was tough to get anywhere. And kind of stalled out in 8th. I have to restart, I haven't done this in a while. Was stuck in 8th, couldn't get around Troy. He was doing a good job holding his spot, and then he was held up by the guys in front of him. So I just ride it out and hope someone made a mistake, and then they started making mistakes, which was pretty cool because you move up some spots. And then we restarted a couple times, and we got popped in the rear, and then somebody came by and straightened me out, but lost 2 spots. So that was kind of sad. But then they wrecked again, and just keep moving up, and you get lucky, and better lucky than good this week. That's the motto for the 18 team.
Well, sometimes that happens, AJ, and we saw that you were battling kind of mid-pack tonight, and the field was stretched out pretty much single file with not a lot of action happening in front or behind. But then kind of, I don't know, maybe like 3/4 of the way through the race, it started to really pile on. At that point, you had to be looking at the front windshield going, okay, we might have something here.
Yeah, you start seeing the cars coming back to you, but I still had Brian and Guillaume in the mirror, so you're trying to look both ways, and black cars everywhere, trying not to run into them or get run into. Hope somebody can make a move and hang them out, and then you can go with them. I think it's one of those races where if I start 3rd, I finish 3rd. Start 10th, finish 8th. One of those tracks and track conditions.
Yeah. Hard track to pass on. We mentioned that during the broadcast, but you definitely got it done here, finishing in second place tonight. Anybody on that 18 car that you need to thank?
Well, sure. Which car we got? American Diabetes Association, of course. Got some JDRF on here. Got to get out and walk. Yes, sir. Get out there and walk. Get that A1C down. Steps make a difference. Get your Fitbit charged 2 or 3. I think they may have come out with another one since I put that on this car. Who else we got? Let's thank Andy and the RFC and you guys for coming back on board. Really enjoyed listening to you last week. And glad I get to be here to make up for not talking to you last week. And congrats to Matt on the win.
All right. That's driver of the number 18, AJ Hamill, bringing it home in second spot tonight. Congratulations once again to AJ, as he did definitely bring that Diabetes Association car up to second. And, of course, if you guys remember, diabetes happens to be kind of near and dear to my heart. So congratulations to him. It looks like, Rick, am I wrong? Do we not have race winner up here in Team Speak anymore?
No, we do. And I also want to thank Arts Barbershop because, your son forgot you. So I'll remember that. And I'll bring up Matt Vade.
All right. Well, we've got driver of the number 8, Matt Vade, coming in first place tonight. Matt, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys. How you doing tonight?
Doing very well, Matt. And first things first, I got to make sure, because now this is race number 2. Are we saying your last name correct? Is it Vade?
It's Vadi.
Vadi, of course. It's got to be something different than what I thought it was. Well, Matt, I apologize, and we will definitely try and get it right coming on and going forward. But listen, man, you had a hell of a race last week. You followed it up with a win. You got to be feeling good for the rest of the season.
Yeah, last week I felt like maybe we just kind of ran out of time, but we had a pretty good car there, and I was, the D-shape ovals like Iowa and Richmond, where we were at last week, is just not my favorite at all. So to have a second there was a good night, and then coming here, this is one of my favorite places to go to, so I felt pretty good coming in here, and then pick up the heat win over the 87. I know he's kind of the guy to beat, and then I was just trying to figure that battle between myself and him, and that first long run was going to be the one for the win, and I don't know how he ended up back in front of us. He must have taken 2 or something, but
well, I'll tell you, Matt, if I know you're pretty new to the league, if I'm not mistaken. You correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, this is only my second start.
Okay. I will tell you that there's not a guy out there that can't win. So while the 87 won last week, watch out for everybody else. But, buddy, you are running strong so far. Second place last week. First place tonight. Who do you have on that 8 car that you need to thank?
DV8 bowling balls, Flow Bowling, Flow Wrestling, USA Wrestling. Be sure to check out the Big Ten or the NCAA Wrestling Championships this weekend. Check out flowwrestling.org for all kinds of wrestling technique videos and some cool documentary stuff as well. And, of course, Madison International Speedway, Wisconsin's fastest half mile. Our season gets started May 5th with the Joe Shear Classic, the ARCA Midwest Tour Super Late Model main event up there that day. It'll be a Sunday special. And then our Friday night weekly program gets started on May 17th. And we have a lot of family fun-oriented stuff for you guys to check out, misracing.com. All
right. Well, as a fellow wrestler myself, I will say that the wrestling that Matt is talking about, not the WWE, don't expect it. These guys are actually going after each other for a win and a tap on the mat. Matt, thank you very much for stopping by, man. Congratulations on the race win tonight. It's really good to see that 8 car up there. And now we'll forget how to pronounce your last name and keep calling you Matt Vade.
No problem. You guys are actually closer than most, so I'll take it.
All right, bud. Congratulations again to the 8 car, Matt Vade. And, man, what a race. Rick, this was absolutely just exactly what I needed on a Wednesday. This is going to give me enough momentum to get through the rest of the week.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. I mean, next Wednesday, March 27th, we'll be here with Gateway. That's going to be a fun one here with the super late models. We have Relentless Racing Series coming up on Friday. They're going to be doing some battling out in Richmond in the Xfinity cars. And then Sunday, we're going to be right back here again with the Blazing Pedals guys in the Truck Series, the TRJKarting.com Truck Series. And they're going to be tackling Texas, man. But then tomorrow, you also have Across the Infield, which is an awesome podcast that you started here on MaxSpeedTV. So, guys, definitely check that out. And, yeah, man, I'm pumped for the rest of the week. It's a perfect time to have an awesome, exciting race like this. It helps push through the week a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to do it again. We'll be, again, Rick just said it, Across the Infield tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, right here at MaxSpeedTV. We don't know who's going to be there. I know one guy that'll be there, and that's Tim Habiuk. And, man, what a story he's got for you guys. Make sure to check it out right here on MaxSpeedTV, Across the Infield tomorrow night. And, of course, like Rick said, Friday night we've got Relentless Racing Series with Sunday night, the Blazing Pedals, bringing it home in Texas. That'll do it for tonight, Rick. What an exciting race, and I can't wait to be back here again for Racing for a Cause next Wednesday night. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great, great night.